bussin', not for discussion. We play with drums like shit is percussion. Stay with a hammer like this is construction. Drink too much Henny, might shoot up.
Yo, what's good YouTube, man? It's Clutch. We're back out with another video, man. Today's video, I got you guys with the new best build in NBA 2K23. Now, I am showing you guys this build on current gen, but that doesn't mean you can't make this build on next gen. I personally have the build on current gen. That's why I'm showing you guys it on current gen. But like I said, it's the exact same thing if you want to make it on next gen, and it's pretty good on next gen too. But like I said, I made the build on current gen, so I'm just going to show you guys on here. Now, if you're making the build on current gen, you want to make it a small forward because this is an ISO post score lockdown type of build. And I did want to be able to get post score takeover. So if you're on current gen, make sure you make it a small forward, because if you make it point guard or shooting guard, you don't get post score takeover. If you're on next gen, it doesn't matter. Next gen, you can make the build a point guard and you'll still get the post score takeover. This is only for current gen. If you're on current gen, make it a small forward. Obviously, this other stuff doesn't matter. That's personal preference. Now, moving on to this stuff, man. Now, I'm not sure if some of you guys seen, but I did drop a build similar to this. This is pretty much just a new and updated version that's a lot better. The other build had a 75 3-pointer, and I just couldn't do with that anymore. I was missing so many shots with that 75 3-ball, so I had to upgrade the build and make a new and improved version. I'm telling you guys, this version right here is a absolute demigod. So we are going to be making the build 6'9". And the reason why I went 6'9" and not 6'8" like I did on my other build is just because I noticed on a 6'9" you play a lot better defense than a 6'8". Because I use this build, this is my 1v1 core build. And I noticed on a 6'8", if I went against post scores, I would just get bodied a lot. So being 6'9", it does help a lot. It's just 1 inch, but that 1 inch helps you a lot, especially if you're going against a post score. So I would recommend you make the build 6'9". And this is perfect if you make this build on next gen, because of the way the badges are set up and the tiers and everything. Now the weight, I do want this build to be able to get that 75 speed of ball for, as you guys know, Michael Jordan dribble style. If you don't have that, you can't really dribble without it. So the max weight you can go for that is 206. If you go 207, pay attention to your speed of ball goes to a 74, which means you can't unlock Michael Jordan dribble style. So make sure you guys go 206. If you want, you can go minimum weight, but this is just what I'm gonna go with personally. And the wingspan, I went with the lower 3-pointer, so I'm personally gonna max this out. But I'm going to show you guys in a minute in case you guys want a higher 3-pointer. But like I said, I don't really care about it. I was shooting fine with the 75. I wanted something a little bit higher than that because I wanted to get my normal jump shot, which requires a 79 3-pointer. So this is perfectly fine for me. And then obviously body shape doesn't matter. I'm just going to go built. Now moving on to the attributes, man. Make sure you guys do copy it down just like this. So like I told you guys, this is an ISO post scoring lockdown type of build. So we're going to be going 75 on the close shot. The reason for that is you guys do get silver fast twitch and you get silver fearless finisher. Not really the fearless finisher, it's more the fast twitch, and you also get masher, which I don't really use personally, but you could use that definitely. But fast twitch is really good. As you guys see, it speeds up the ability to get standing dunks or layups off before the defense has time to contest. Fast twitch is definitely a really good badge for that. Plus that's also tied into your post hook, so you have a 75 post hook. I only recommend you do post hooks with this build when you have takeover, because if you didn't know, post score takeover gives you a plus 10 to pretty much all your finishing stats. So 75 plus 10, that's an 85 post hook when you have takeover. That is definitely enough to be able to hit post hooks. I only do it if I'm wide open, because if they get a contest on it, you're most likely going to miss, because you're obviously not a 7'3" player. You can't just hook shot right over people. I only do it if I'm wide open. Now driving dunk, we're only going 80 driving dunk. Personally, like I said, this is a ones build for me, so I don't really care about gold limos takeoff or anything like that. And as you guys know, 80 driving dunk does give you your quick drops. That's all I really care about. That's the only dunk I do, because I noticed when I had the 86 dunk, I threw on like Westbrook dunks, Vince Carter dunks, and I was just getting blocked like crazy. So I was like, I don't even need 86 dunk. I'm just go 80 dunk and just do quick drops the whole game, and this been working perfectly for me. Now the standing dunk, we are going to go 70 standing dunk. That does give you pretty much all your good under the basket dunks, plus it gives you bronze rise up, which is definitely a good badge, especially whenever you do your post spins like that. Having a high standing dunk definitely does help a lot, I'm telling you. And our post control, we're going to be going 80 post control, which this does give you all your gold post move badges, and it gives you Hall of Fame post spin technician, which is the badge you're going to utilize the most on this build. This is pretty much all I do. When I play like an ISO player until I get takeover, and then when I get takeover, I just abuse this Hall of Fame post spin technician. I'm telling you, this thing right here goes pretty hard, so I would highly recommend you go that 80 post control. It works on either gen. It's not even just current gen. You can do the same. You can do the same stuff on next gen. Like I said, if you want to make this build on next gen, just copy it down just like this. Now moving on to shooting, man, we're just going to be going 83 pointer right here. Now, like I did say, man, I know people are probably going to be thinking, oh, 83 pointer, that's too low. But personally for me, I was shooting fine with a 79 3-pointer, so I know 80 is more than enough. And like I said, my jump shot that I don't miss with It only requires a 79, so 83 pointer is definitely way more than enough for me. But what I would do personally for you guys is look at whatever jump shot you have that you shoot good with, check what 3-point rating it requires, and then say if it requires 81 or 82 3-pointer, I would just do that. But like I said, mine only requires 79, so I'm going 83 pointer, and this has been working perfectly fine for me. 75 3-pointer wasn't really working because I didn't get my normal jump shot that I always use, and then after a while it was starting to get inconsistent, so I went 83 pointer. This is definitely more than enough for me, but like I said, I would put it to whatever your jump shot requires. Now moving on to playmaking, man, I'm going to go 85 ball handle right here, which does give you gold quick first step and golden pluckable. And obviously you want to max your speed of ball out, which will give you Michael Jordan dribble style, 75 speed of ball. That's pretty much all you need. You don't need anything higher than that. And then pass accuracy, I went 59, which does give you an extra badge point right here. Now I do understand 59 pass accuracy is pretty low, but you got to understand the reason why I made this build is because I wanted to play 1v1 court only. I'm not planning on using this build on 2s or 3s. I'm only planning on using this build on 1v1 court, so obviously pass accuracy doesn't matter. I just put it to 59 just because you get an extra badge point. Now if you guys do want to use this build for 2s or something, you definitely could bump this pass accuracy up to at least, I would say probably a 75 is definitely your best bet. It's really up to you. Like I said, I recommend using this build on 1v1 court, so this is how I made it. Now moving on to defense, man, here is very important things. Obviously you want to go 86 perimeter, which does give you your silver clamps and your silver challenger. We're going 85 steal, which gives you silver glove. Now here's the main thing about this build. This build never gets rim ran because of this one stat right here. This build has a 99 block, which obviously gives you your Hall of Fame anchor badge, which I'm telling you, do not sleep on Hall of Fame anchor. Hall of Fame anchor is crazy on this game. On 1v1 court, on my previous build, I had a 75 block bronze anchor, and I was always getting rim ran like nothing. Like that bronze anchor wasn't really helping me at all. It was almost like, I mean, it did help, don't get me wrong, but most of the time people would just run right by me, and it was like I wasn't even there. Now this Hall of Fame maker, it's nothing like that. It bumps them every time. It takes, like, if they're about to get a dunk animation, this Hall of Fame maker takes them out of it every single time. Hall of Fame maker is definitely a really good badge. And then I did go 80 interior defense, might as well. It gives you silver post move lockdown. Like I said, that's a good badge if you're playing one score. That paired with Hall of Fame maker, you'll definitely be able to stop post scores with that. Plus your 6'9". Like I said, Hall of Fame maker helps out a lot. Now rebounding, you definitely want to have some rebounding, so we do have a 72 defensive rebound, which does give you an extra badge point. Now offensive rebound, we did go to a 73, which also does give you another badge point right here, as you guys can see. Now moving on to physicals, man, we do have a 78 acceleration, I think also a 78 speed, yep. And I went 81 vertical. And stamina, we're going to be putting this to a 95, I'm pretty sure, yeah, or actually no, 94. We're going to be putting it to a 94, which is still plenty fine, and then max out the free throw. And as you guys see, this is the build right here. It has 15 finishing, 14 shooting, 13 playmaking, and 24 defense. This is a really good one-score build. Like I said, I played probably like 200 games on this build, and I've only lost one game. And the reason why I lost is because I lost to a 7'3", 99 overall post score, and I was a 90 overall, no badges and stuff like that. But now I'm a 94 overall, and I pretty much got all my badges. I'm telling you, I never lose on this build. This build is super OP. It's so easy to stop rim runs with that Hall of Fame anchor. That stuff right there is crazy. Now moving on to takeovers, man, like I said, if you're on current gen, the reason why I told you guys to go small forward is to get that post score takeover. If you weren't small forward, you won't be able to get the post score takeover, so obviously you want to throw that on primary. I noticed on current gen, if you're not a power forward or center, it doesn't give you the ability to get rim take no matter how high your block is. As you guys see, we have a 99 block and still don't get rim take. But some of you guys probably didn't know there's actually a takeover glitch on current gen, so you can put whatever takeover you want. You could definitely glitch rim protector takeover on this build, which I did do. I'm not going to show you guys how to do that in the video. You guys can go look that up if you want. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. So we're just going to pick lockdown takeover, but like I said, there is a way to get rim protector takeover on this build, even though it doesn't get it. And as you guys can see, man, we have built a 3-point shooter similar to OG Anunoby, Scottie Pippen, and Mikal Bridges. This build is a huge catfish. It's called a 3-point shooter. Now, obviously, it can't shoot threes, but when you see that name, you're probably thinking, oh, this build probably has at least a 93-pointer. But this build is a defensive monster. It's a post scorer. It can ISO. So that build is a huge, this name is a huge catfish 3-point shooter. It could definitely do a lot more than just shoot threes, which I do definitely like about this build. But that's pretty much the end of the video, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this build in the comment section below. Make sure you guys do drop a like and subscribe if you're new, and I'm out.